Hello, Chicago Cubs fans, Chicago sports fans alike. Welcome back to the channel for another Cubs edition. It is AJ, your average fan here. I am recording this on the 25th. You guys will be seeing this Tuesday morning, the 26th. But before we get into it, we got to do the jersey of the day. We got the road away Seiya Suzuki. Give him the Zook Japanese Jesus some love today. Listen, I got an interesting little tidbit here coming from Bob Nightingale. So make sure that you like the video, leave a comment, and tell me your thoughts below. Now, before we get into it, before we get into it, my friends, listen. Over the weekend when I was doing my Bears stuff and I was posting some shorts, they really kind of took off a little bit, and we gained 11 subscribers. We crossed the 10,000 views mark and 100 public watch hours. I know that it is a small milestone, but a milestone nonetheless. We are marching to 50 subscribers, and we are starting to get there at a little bit of a quicker pace. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the comments and the back and forth. You guys make this fun for me with being able to go back and forth with you guys. Seeing the likes, seeing the comments, seeing the subscribers. I appreciate you guys, so thank you very much. And also, being that you will see this on Tuesday, I hope your week is going all right. Now, from Bob Nightingale, he posted a public or a free agency article in number 5, Chicago Cubs driving agents crazy. It is just a small section. It is nothing too crazy, but it is posted that the Cubs, whose 2016 era championship window closed abruptly, are now a cash cow with one of the largest markets in baseball. Yet, instead of negotiating with any marquee free agents, they instead are focusing on the mid-market players. They are probably out on Soto, Burns, Fried, and Snell. That also means that they are probably out on guys such as Willie Adames and players of his caliber as well for position players. And yeah, we're going to have a quick little discussion about this because I just posted a video yesterday morning for you guys about what I expect to see out of free agency, what I hope to see out of free agency. I was talking about what I thought that the Cubs could do to build out a good enough roster to compete for a wild card spot. Maybe not necessarily the division, but you could certainly make it within reach with a couple of key players, a couple of bullpen guys, one rotational guy, and one position player, given the DFAs and the non-tenders that happened at that deadline. Well, it looks like that Jed Hoyer might just be sitting pat after all, which is kind of crazy to me, given the fact that he is on the hot seat for his job. He does not have a contract past 2024, 2025. So it's just a big question mark to me. They say that the Cubs have met the first tier of the luxury tax, but with the guys that you only went over it by, I want to say it was like $400,000. Well, the guys that you non-tendered or DFA'd brings you back down below that. So you do have some wiggle room. However, why is there no sense in urgency to try to help this roster win? I thought that the pitching was solid enough. I thought that the bullpen got themselves righted a few times during the season. And if it wasn't for the offensive production lull that really cost you over the course of, 60 games or so in the summer, if it wasn't for that, I mean, the roster at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year did look like a postseason contending team. So I don't understand why you wouldn't try to get some big name out there that will help you try to avoid the same situation in 2025 if you have that kind of lull in your pitching or your bats or your whatever, you have somebody that you can rely on to kind of put the team on their back, so to speak, and carry you through that while players get themselves right. And I just don't understand the mid-market mindset, because you are one of the biggest markets in all of the MLB. I believe you're the fourth biggest. And you have teams like San Diego, you have teams like Milwaukee, you have teams like New York, the Mets. You have all these teams that are a smaller market and a smaller net worth than you, who are getting better players and also making effective rosters for an entire season. I just don't, I cannot wrap my head around how you are willing to run it back. And one of my favorite Cubs podcasts to listen to, Locked On Cubs, Matt Cozy was like, "Are they going to 83 Pete?" And you know what? Matt Cozy, I don't think you're wrong. I think that you're actually spot on if Jed is going to treat this team like a small market team. I was really hopeful that with the Cubs going into a contract year for Jed, since he doesn't have one yet, he was going to push all the chips in and kind of buy his way into the postseason, if you will. Because, again, you have two back-to-back seasons of 83 and 79, 78. So there was enough there that without the offensive production lull, you could have gotten to the postseason 2 years in a row and you missed out. Granted, the gap in 2024 was just a little bit bigger, but you still could have got there. Now you're in a position where you know what you need. You know, the crazy part is that you're trying to trade Bellinger and you're trying to trade Nico Horner. What are you expecting to get back if there's already people thinking that you're out on Soto, Burns, Fried, and Snell? I mean, those are top tier targets, and as the Cubs, you should be expected to at least land one of them. At least land one of them. And now we're sitting here thinking, I was sitting here really excited to go into the winter meetings because I thought that the Cubs, had a great plan to be able to go get a couple of big name guys just because of who was non-tendered and DFA'd, let alone the two guys that you're trying to trade right now. So are you really trying to run it back for 2025 and thinking that adding one bullpen guy pre-winter meetings is going to be enough? I don't know. I'm looking at some comments on X, formerly known as Twitter here. There's one guy that says they just want the young guys to play more, but still, I mean, that's a great point. I mean, you can't have these younger guys come in and expect them to be the big bat that turns everything around. I mean, PCA came in and did outstanding in the outfield, and then he sputtered out for a little while before picking it back up at the end of the season. Like, you can't expect a AAA guy to just come up and just perform. Like, that rarely happens anymore in the MLB. It just doesn't work that way. Another person says that there's no reason for this either. What reason are they trying to save money? Are they just going all in on hopeful prospects? And again, very good point. You are one of the top 5 net worth teams in the MLB. You should not be worried about money. Money should not be an object to the Chicago Cubs at all right now. And there's a lot of people saying the Ricketts are cheap, sell the team. It's getting really bothersome to see Jed being played like a puppet, because at this point you can tell that after winning it all in 2016, I just don't think that the Ricketts are interested in putting a solid team out there. They know they're just like the Bears. They're always going to sell out. Even if, the fans don't show up at the game, the tickets are still going to sell. It's ridiculous. I mean, here's another good comment. The Cubs were 8th in payroll in 2024. They were 8th. And they missed out on the postseason by what, 6.5 games, I think it was? And it says, this one commenter says, out on Corbin Burns says it all. Was literally anything but a Cub during the season. And now management won't put any money forward. Yeah, I mean, I could understand being out on Soto, to be honest. The money that he's going to command is absolutely insane. But that's still not to say that you can't go get like a Burns or a Fried or, again, a Willy Adames. Like, those are the kind, like, I could understand being smart with the money, but you still have to go and spend money. Like, that's just the bottom line. And there's a lot of people saying that they don't understand why, they don't even bluff on being in on Soto. I mean, I'm not the Ricketts. I'm just a guy that makes YouTube videos and, has a conversation with, the friendly folk on YouTube. So I'm not inside of their heads. I don't really know what's really going on. But, I mean, another commenter here, the Cubs are designed to make money, not win games. The sooner there are empty seats at Wrigley, the better. Again, the Cubs are just one of those teams that they're just not – it's not going to be empty. I mean, it's just not. It's hard to really wrap your brain around. It's just really hard to wrap your brain around not taking what is like the obvious final steps of you getting back to postseason baseball. Like you are quite literally this close. Like this close. You are so close to being back in postseason baseball, and you just refuse to take the last step. It just doesn't make sense to me, Cubs fans. I just don't get it. But, Cubs fans, with that, I hope that you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. If I don't see you on here before then, I hope you have a good rest of your week. If you have any comments about the Cubs conundrum right now, leave your comments down below. Let me know how you feel. What would you do if you were in Jed's spot? And make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so we can beat the algorithm, because we all know that it sucks. And I will catch you in the next one, guys.